All right, good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, February 14th, 2024. Hope you guys are having a good morning. Happy to see you guys, Neil and Kevin. Let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at what happened here yesterday. And then we'll take a look and see what the charts have to say for this morning. So obviously, pretty heavy market and lots of opportunity on the downside yesterday. So let's scroll it on back to the open. And remember, pre-market here, the news event just an hour before the open kind of led to a much more extreme sell-off there. And that's where it brought us into the open. And just before the open, we were basically testing the major fib level that that was on the chart there. So we came in, bears just swatted it right from the beginning. There's your crossover again, not necessarily the same setup I'm mentioning from yesterday, but we did get the crossover, held the back end of the 200, and then began a little bit of a stair step. But the problem is, I told you guys this, there's a reason we're watching very specific fib retracement levels. And it's because, look what ended up happening. This happens so often that there's a reason I follow this stuff, right? So we came right into this major retracement, tried to get below it, and then got a little bounce, right? So tried to get through pretty much the first line in the sand for us, which was that major 50% retrace, ducked below it, and then we got a little push up to test into VWAP. Now here again, another day where VWAP became basically the moneymaker. If you shorted VWAP yesterday, you made probably the most money out of anybody. If you shorted VWAP at the end of the day, you also even got a little pullback coming into the overnight session there. So again, these parries, looking at VWAP, looking at major retracements, trading our 200, there are unlimited potential for money-making opportunities. So nice little sell-off out of the open there, again, riding. Once we got through that first roadmap level, it came right to the back end, and the back end of the 200 got a great opportunity. Then we got a little support off, again, one of our major expected areas of potential support. But then, textbook hold from the VWAP, and then we got, again, another beautiful opportunity to short the market. So once the market failed through VWAP and started to come back, there's your first tag of the 200 to the tick, where you could have grabbed a 5-6 point pullback off of it. And then again, we began the bearish stair step, and very aggressively though, right? It wasn't like we came down and we got some type of, nice push down, and then it came up 10-15 points into the level, got 10-15 points below the next one, came all the way back up to it. This was just an aggressive swath right down, but stair-stepped right down all the levels. We even came right up, and this is one of those stair steps that I actually was just mentioning, where we got a nice good push through the next major roadmap level, major scaffolding, came right back to it, stair-stepped down a little bit more, and then the low of the day was our major support and resistance level on the chart. Right, so the two biggest rotations yesterday were off of our first major retracement level I warned you about. Again, wasn't to the tick, we ducked below it and then got the rotation. And then the second largest bounce of the day was right at our next scaffolding, or our next support and resistance, holding it here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tests, duck below it for one little peak below, and then at the end of the day here, you got a great opportunity to get some aggressive longs all the way up, right back to the VWAP and support and resistance level, right? And that was how yesterday went. In my opinion, some pretty easy plays if you got short out of the open, if you bought on the first bounce, if you sold from around VWAP or rode this down at some point, maybe even selling the back end of our scaffolding. And then right at the end of the day, some really good, nice, aggressive, bullish opportunities. So that brings us here into Wednesday morning, and it's been a nice little retracement of the sell-off from the day before. We're getting up right into a very critical area in the chart here. This being 50% of last week. We all know how important that is. And we even got a really nice tradable event right off of it there in the overnight session. And now we're trying, notice we've got a very discrete area in the chart here. Let's go ahead and just highlight it. Somewhere right around there, give or take a couple ticks. We rotated right off of it, pulled back, got through it, and then the bulls have been literally and nearly to the tick trying to hold the market above that area, right? So we know the best areas in the chart for these rotations, and we see them happen over and over again. So we are right at a very critical spot right now. Breaking back up through 50% of last week and holding above will give us some clues, and holding below it will give us some additional clues. So let's go ahead and jump up to the higher time frames. Let's map this all out for this morning to set you guys up for some of the best trading opportunities that you're going to find on the S&P. So let's go ahead and pull up